Hey guys, part 3 working on the new Mini engine. You saw the last one. Well, now we have no more oil leaks, but the bad news, car doesn't start anymore. So a bit more troubleshooting. Let's go. First things first, when sorting out you can see the shiny part there. When sorting out the oil leak, we found out that the oil filter housing had a slight crack. So when I repaired it, I also drilled and tapped oil pressure sensor in place. So hopefully we can connect this to that and then utilize the chrono pack so it shows the real oil pressure.
No, you can't. Don't even try.
We also need to put in the wideband, and since I have these connectors, I could like unplug these wires and connect them directly to wideband, but I have a female part of this. It came with the ECU, so I'll utilize this, and one of the pins will be used for that, and I'll make an adapter to Bosch LSU 4.2 wideband. So I'll come back to you once this is done, because that's not that hard of a job to do. Adapter is done. This one is for oil pressure sensor, but yeah, looks half decent. These ones were pain in the ass to, well, align. This one not so bad, went pretty easily. Hopefully it will work. And yeah, now let's just wrap it a bit and hello cat, put it in a car.
A few minutes later.
This part 3 is all about sorting out well, wiring. We had wiring problems, couldn't get the car to start, couldn't get the car to have a working ignition, have a working map. It took us a while, and finally figured it out today. Finally got it running. Ran for a minute straight. I mean, we had it running for more than a minute already, but this time running for a minute. And this fucking that's a Newman phase 4. Can you see the pin locking the sprocket in place? No, you can't, because it broke off. Now you would assume we fucked something up and the camshaft got stuck, but as you can see now, clearly see now, it fucking works. It's not stuck. So yeah, it wasn't our fault. I mean, might have been, but I don't know what we could have done to cause this. But yeah, we're running out of time. I don't have the time to take the head off, and these are Supertech oversized valves. If any of them is bent, it will be fucked up because I need to fucking buy new ones. I don't know when I can get them, and the race is in 1 week. On top of that, everything on this head is new. We have around 2,000 euros, I think, in this head, which is annoying as fuck. But yeah, what we'll do now, test everything. I mean, I've already went through the pistons with boroscope. It's a bad one, so I'm not 100% sure, but there is no signs of any collision with valves. And if you remember, I don't know if I told you, but these are e-torque pistons, high compression pistons for this engine, but they do have valve reliefs. So yeah, hopefully they didn't collide. But for now, we're taking this race camshaft off. We'll be putting the stock one in. We'll clock it 4 or 5 degrees to give us some more high RPM. This apparently works in this engine. I don't know, we'll test it. I have adjustable sprocket, so should be good. And then we need to time the engine and check the compression. So this is what we'll be doing till the end of this video. Here's the aftermath of yesterday's mishap. No compression cylinder 1, no compression cylinder 3, and head needs to come off. We're taking the head off. We'll be putting that stock one on with stock cam, hopefully with 11.5 compression, then 11.6 compression ratio, and everything done with a good map. We should be around between 140 and 150 horsepower. Also, the lower end is way lighter than usual, so we will be able to push 7,500 RPM and 7, maybe even 7.8. Either way, I will also be using the adjustable sprocket, so we'll move the cam 4 or 5 degrees to, well, favor the high RPMs as much as we can. That's the plan now. Once we take the head off, we'll see how many valves are bent. I need to order new Supertech oversized valves, and that's some expensive shit. Now, what bothers me the most is, I don't know if I showed this yesterday. I was pretty annoyed, so don't know what I filmed, what I didn't. But yeah, this broke off, fine. The only reason I can see this breaking off is me not tightening the sprocket enough. But before we started the engine, we removed the valve cover from the engine. We retimed the camshaft. We moved it for about 2 degrees. And when I was undoing the bolts, you'll see the bolts later. Yeah, it was all tight. So I don't understand how. I don't know. We might have moved something, and it probably got too loose. And I mean, the engine worked for a minute, maybe. I didn't hit anything over 3.2 thousand RPM. So, very bummed. Time consuming, expensive, but we missed our dyno appointment either way, so I wouldn't be able to run this engine either way. So yeah, let's build it, as I said, with stock head and stock camshaft. I'll come back to you once the head is off. Also, this is very rough, and not a fan of these camshafts anymore, especially after this. But hey, we'll try and save this one for second half of the season, and hopefully then we can hit the full power, which should be good. But for now, as I said, 140, 150, if we get that, I'll be happy. Let's do it. 20 minutes in, this is why I love this engine. All we need to do now is remove the mount, remove the chain guides, and unscrew the head, take it off. I mean, this is probably because I didn't want to film this for you guys. I mean, I did, but I lost the footage and I didn't film everything I wanted. So yeah, now I can show you the stock versus new one phase 4. Not a huge amount of lift more because you're limited, but then again, the rockers do have a ratio, so any millimeter here is 1.7, I think, on the valves. Either way, what you can really see is the duration, the stock one and this one. So that's why it was running like a freaking V8, very, very lumpy. But yeah, everything is off, as I said. Now to get the engine mount off, timing chain guides off, and off with its head. 2 bent intake valves, not as easy to see, but 2 bent exhaust valves. Yeah, not the best. Stock head is on the car, and yes, I reused the bolts, I reused the gasket, I reused everything. I didn't skim the head, I didn't do anything. Trust me, it will work. Now the only problem is how to time the car without removing the lower timing cover, and I think I got that figured out, so I'll try. I would like to see it come undone. See, that's what we couldn't do, but I figured it out. I can grab it here if I remove all of these shits. Now I'll put all of these shits back together, and hopefully we've timed it right. Now we'll have to, well, first I will give it a dry run without opening the valves and see what happens. Alright, now with this mark, a line at the back like this, we should be at the top dead center on the first cylinder. So we'll take out the spark plug and check. See if we are in top dead center. Okay. Yep, that's top dead center. Actually, it's not completely aligned because I moved it for around 5 degrees. Now, the other thing you can do is check out with the alignment tool. Now you'll see that part. basically this one, which is around this dirt mark here, needs to be the same as this one. Actually, it will be a bit off. That's too much off. So we're probably 1 tooth off. Now that doesn't compute, but let's see. So we are at this one. And these two holes on the back should be aligned. Actually, you can put an alignment tool into these if it's not an adjustable pulley. But this one is adjustable pulley, so yeah, they're basically aligned. As I said, they're a bit backwards because, well, I moved it for around 4 degrees. So yes, we are timed. We'll put the valves back, then we'll spin it by hand 2 times to see if everything clears. Then we'll put it together and start cranking it to see if everything works. Mostly assembled, hopefully timed okay. And now first we crank and then we try and start it. Coated the ACU, we tried spinning it, spins cleanly, we build it up some pressure, and now we have everything should be connected and the car should start. So let's see. Now, it might have started if I have connected the ignition contact. So let's give it a second try. I guess it's working. Almost dropped the laptop. Now to tune the idle and hopefully we'll get it ready for the race. It's idles like this because obviously it's too rich and too fucked up. But at least it works. At least it works. So hopefully just the tune now. I'll come back to you to finish this video once I'm happy with this car and once I take it for a first drive after a 6-month hiatus. Unfortunately, no burbling and highly camped sound because everything's here. I need to fix it. We need to fucking fix it. We are done for today. Car is inside. Unfortunately, another freaking problem. Clutch is not disengaging completely. Can't get it into the gear. I don't know. I don't want to take the gearbox out again. But hey, we'll see. Either way, for today this is it. I'm done. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to kill myself. Something. I just want to get like on my back and relax. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a like, share it, and well, subscribe to see what the hell else can go wrong with this car, because apparently there are things that can. I'm sure of it. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, hope to see you in the next one. Bye!